Donald Trump never played a single minute at this World Cup. 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 minutes. He still ended up with a trophy, a phone call to FIFA, and somehow became one of the biggest stories of the entire tournament. Today, we are doing something no sports analyst has ever done. We are giving Donald Trump an official FIFA player rating: pace, passing, vision, leadership, discipline, influence. And by the end of this video, you'll decide the final score. Name: Donald Trump. Club: United States of America. Position: apparently everywhere. Preferred foot: the one that keeps finding its way into football news. Minutes played: 0. Goals: 0. Influence: we will get to that. Overall rating: not yet. Let's watch the tape. Every great footballer dreams of lifting a trophy. Messi waited his entire career for one. Mbappe is still chasing another. Trump collected one before the tournament even started. In December 2025, months before a single ball was kicked, FIFA President Gianni Infantino presented Donald Trump with the FIFA Peace Prize at the White House. No qualifiers, no knockout stage, no final. Just arrive, smile, and receive the trophy. That is remarkable efficiency. The FIFA Peace Prize has been awarded exactly once in history, to the man hosting the tournament. Before the tournament started, we will let you decide what that means. Football is a team sport. The 2026 World Cup had 3 hosts: the United States, Canada, Mexico. 3 countries, 1 tournament, 1 very complicated relationship. Most co-hosts release a joint theme song. North America released trade disputes. Canada had thoughts on the tariffs. Mexico had thoughts on the tariffs. Then there was the Greenland situation. Nobody asked FIFA. At one point, European nations, including the United Kingdom, Germany, and the Netherlands, discussed boycotting the tournament entirely over US foreign policy positions. They did not boycott, but they discussed it. Team chemistry under review. Most fans think the hard part ends once your national team qualifies. Not this year. Imagine this. Your country qualifies for the World Cup. You save for months. You buy your ticket. You book your hotel. You pack your jersey. You get to the airport. And then the final boss appears. For fans from Senegal, the entire official supporters delegation was barred from traveling. For fans from Ivory Coast, approximately 500 supporters canceled their trip after visa denials. A Somali referee named Omar Artan was held at Miami International Airport for 11 hours. Questioned about Somali politics. Questioned about Al-Shabaab. He missed the tournament entirely. A World Cup referee. Denied entry to the host country. An Iraqi player was held for 7 hours at O'Hare. His team's photographer was denied entry entirely. Over 40 Moroccan fans with valid tickets and confirmed hotel bookings were turned away at the border. They had tickets. They had hotels. They had jerseys. They did not have entry. FIFA's official slogan for this tournament was, "Football unites the world." Some fans found that easier to believe than others. This is where it gets complicated. United States forward Folarin Balogun received a red card during the tournament. Under standard FIFA rules, a 1-match suspension, no exceptions, no appeals. Standard procedure. Then something happened that has no known precedent in World Cup history. Trump stated publicly on social media that he had personally called FIFA President Gianni Infantino to request a review of the decision, not a formal appeal through sporting channels. A phone call. From the President of the United States to the President of FIFA about a red card. The suspension was subsequently lifted. Balogun played. FIFA's disciplinary committee reversed the decision and offered no detailed public explanation of why standard procedure had been overturned. Former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp responded publicly. He called it unacceptable interference in the sporting process. Former England striker Gary Lineker said it directly. A president should not be able to call FIFA and change a result. Former FIFA executives noted that if this standard applied to every host nation, the entire disciplinary system would collapse. FIFA said nothing definitive. Two interpretations. If you believe Trump was acting in the interest of his country and his players, this is leadership. A president going to bat for an American athlete on home soil in front of a home crowd. If you believe sporting decisions should be made without political intervention, this is the most serious breach of FIFA's independence at a World Cup in modern history. We are not the referee. That is your job. In February 2026, the United States and Israel carried out military strikes against Iran. Iran's supreme leader was killed. 4 months later, Iran arrived in North America to play in the FIFA World Cup. Before the tournament, Trump posted on Truth Social that Iran's national team was welcome to compete, but that he did not think it was appropriate for them to attend for their own life and safety. Iran's sports minister initially said the country could not participate given the circumstances. Eventually, Iran's players were granted entry, but only on match days. They could enter the United States to play. They could not stay. 15 members of the coaching and support staff were denied U.S. visas entirely. Iran's media team was denied entry. The team based themselves in Mexico for the duration of the tournament, traveling to American cities only when a match required it. Iranian players, including Mehdi Taremi and Alireza Jahanbakhsh, publicly stated that the entry restrictions created uncertainty and logistical difficulties that no other team at the tournament faced. When Iran played New Zealand in Los Angeles, the players wore pins bearing the number 168, representing the victims of the Minab school attack in Iran earlier that year. They brought their grief onto the pitch of a country that had bombed their homeland 4 months earlier. During that same match, Iranian midfielder Mohammad Mohabi scored and performed a gesture simulating firing a gun. He said it was spontaneous and meant only for the fans. Social media had other interpretations. Iranian opposition members held protests outside the FIFA Congress in Vancouver. And somewhere in all of that, a football tournament was also happening. This is not something you see at every World Cup. Time for the scouting report. Pace. Pretty quick to get involved. Passing. Canada and Mexico are still waiting on a few things. Vision. Some say brilliant strategic positioning. Others say it's completely offside. You decide. Leadership. Depends entirely on who you ask and which incident you are referencing. Discipline. Let's move on. Influence. 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 minutes played. Still became one of the defining storylines of a tournament watched by 4 billion people. That is an influence rating that most players who actually played cannot match. Entertainment. Honestly. 11 out of 10. Overall rating, not our call. Donald Trump never wore the jersey, never trained with the squad, never stepped onto the pitch. And somehow he still ended up with a trophy before the tournament started. A phone call to FIFA that changed a sporting decision. A Truth Social post about a nation at war with his country that became global news the day before their match. And a qualifying gauntlet that left fans from 3 continents on the wrong side of a border with tickets in their hands. The most powerful story at the 2026 World Cup did not happen on the pitch. It happened in phone calls, Truth Social posts, airport terminals, and FIFA boardrooms. That is the World Cup nobody was supposed to be covering. Pitch North covered it. Now you decide. Man of the match, yellow card, straight, red. Drop your rating in the comments. Because whatever you think of the man, he had one of the strangest World Cups of anyone who never played in one. Subscribe to Pitch North. The biggest stories in football never happen on the pitch.